So today we're going to fix a problem that all Model S's and Model X's have. And you probably have it on yours. It's the uneven wear on your tires. And it's because of the camber issues. And it's more prevalent on the big tires, the 22s on the Model X and the 21s on the Model S. They look amazing, but Tesla has camber in there and it wears the inside of them out. And with the staggered setup, you can't rotate them like normal, so you go through tires faster. Let me show you on my car what I'm talking about. So here's our Model X outside here, and if you look down here, that wheel is pitched in a little bit. That's the camber. The front isn't as bad, but the back is, and some of that is due to cornering. They want you to be able to corner better, but this is a big, heavy SUV. You're not going to be cornering a ton with this thing. Oh, it's nice and spring out. You hear the birds everywhere. But we're going to get this fixed today, and let me show you what we're going to fix it with. Those birds are really excited I'm getting this fixed today. But what I have here are shims. These are camber shims, and these are made by the same company that sent me out those wheels, and they have two different kinds, a red one and a silver one. The red one is more for stock wheels, and the silver one is set up, they're larger wheels. Just so you're aware, this is a 2023. I had the stock 22s, and then I got these 22s from Signature Wheel. They're aluminum monoblock wheel. They look amazing. They're super strong. They also sent out the titanium lug nuts. Those look amazing. Super strong because the stock wheels are cast aluminum, and if you hit something, you can really damage them. They can break even. These things are super strong. These are really hard to break. And they're still 22-inch wheels. It's just, it's a wider wheel. This is machined aluminum, and what it is, it's a big horseshoe. I mean, oh, it's a big horseshoe. It's a small horseshoe. I mean, if you set up, you can play horseshoes with these. But it is aluminum. Let me pull around here so that it can focus on this maybe. This is CNC designed to maximize strength, and this is made of aluminum, 6061 aluminum. Then they anodize it this color. So what's really cool is this is going to bring the top out a little bit. Am I focused? This doesn't even look like I'm focused. And you're gonna get to see that. So I'm gonna go to my friend Bernard's shop. It's the Auto House. We're gonna put it up on the lift, or on the alignment rack, and see what the alignment is now. And see how those wheels are pitched in and what the factory says it should be. And then he's gonna install the silver ones, and then we're gonna put it back on the alignment rack and align it perfectly. Because one thing about Bernard, and why I like taking my vehicles there, is there's a difference when you get your car aligned at a normal place that gets you in and out because they wanna make more money on the next person. There's a difference between being aligned in the green and being perfectly in the green. And that's what he goes for. And he takes his time doing that. He works on really cool cars there. It's not just Teslas, got some nice Ferraris and a lot of German cars there. He's gonna put these on there, so let's head out. It's about 45 minutes from here. Oh, by the way, you also get new bolts in there because they're bigger, so they have a little bit bigger threads for these to fit in there. But check the link out down below if you want to get these, if you want to have your tires last a little bit longer, and I'm going to show you what the difference is. So I made it here to the Auto House. He's pulling it right inside. We're going to put it right on the alignment rack and then see how bad the factory alignment is. You know, maybe there's some damage. You know, your alignment can go off at any point in time as you're driving the car. But we're going to see what it is now. 26,000 miles on the car. Oh, that's really cool.
So your spec is 153.5, and you're about 155, about 154, 155. So you're about a ½ millimeter high, which every one that I've checked has been about that. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. About 159. You're right before the 6.
And what can cause the difference? I mean, it's air ride.
So it's air ride, so it's adjustable, but there's always a tolerance.
Okay.
For example, like Land Rover won't adjust it unless you're plus or minus about 5 millimeters.
Okay.
So
since you were in it, maybe it was adjusted,
right,
and then you got out. Okay.
You have to cross that threshold before the car says, okay, it's time to make an
Otherwise
adjustment.
It'd be...
Right, it'll be constantly adjusting.
Because the Rivian adjusts all the time
right.
like that. So
yeah, they probably have too tight of a tolerance
Yeah.
for the alignment. Yeah, you're technically in spec on the camber, but that's still well over -2 degrees of camber. So if we switch this to the bar graphs, you can see how much of a range you have. So you can go all the way to -1 degree and still be in spec.
Wow.
So these shims are going to move these tires out, and it's going to get them off of that inside edge.
That'll help with the wear of the tires. That's the whole point of this. Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah. So you're technically in spec, and a lot of people wouldn't advise you adjust it. But you know, nothing's going to tell you about your alignment more than your tires are.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
that's
you're
what I
wearing
want
on
to
the
see.
inside edge, you need to fix the camber.
Yeah.
Regardless of what that says. So these shims are going to move us just. This is the center. The shims are going to put us just to the outside of these. So I predict. Well, I think the shims you have are 7/10.
And is there adjustments from that?
No, it's a fixed adjustment.
Oh, okay.
So when you put those in, that's it.
Oh, wow.
They do make a thicker one. I think it's like a 1 point.
Yeah, I have both of them.
Okay.
They sent both of them.
With different wheels, or even trying to get it even lower. Lowering it's going to kick them in more, and you would want the thicker shim. But for mostly stock equipment, I think the 7/10 will be plenty.
And this is in low setting in the car.
Yes, right.
So you have to do the alignment in low. But would that change at all if it was in, what is it? What's the next one?
Normal mode?
Normal?
It would bring the camber out a little bit.
Okay.
Tires typically camber in the lower the car sits.
Okay.
But if you're driving it in low mode, that's really where you'd want to adjust it anyway.
Okay.
It doesn't do any good to set it at normal if you're just going to drop it back to low as soon as you leave the. But the specification for this actually prescribes it to be aligned in low.
Okay.
So that works out well for everybody.
And that's why I come here, because there's a difference between it within spec and being perfectly within spec. And that's why you come to the Auto House. The Auto House is in Denver, North Carolina. It's on the west side of the lake. But you can see there's quite a few bays here. They work on a lot of Teslas. There's some actually ex-Tesla employees here. They know Teslas here, and they will get the job done. So if you need any work done to your Tesla, and maybe down in Charlotte they say, oh, it's going to be a couple month wait, bring it here, give them a call. Or if you want these, order them and give them a call. Schedule an appointment and they can put them in. So here is the tire wear. This is the outside, and the inside you can see right here, it does have a little bit more wear on the inside than the outside.
So now you can actually loosen those, put shims behind it, and it'll actually bring the top of the knuckle out, and that's your camber adjustment.
Oh.
You know, if you're doing this yourself at home, the Tech Info website for Tesla is free. You just have to register.
Yeah.
They will ask for a credit card, but they don't charge it. They just need to make sure you're a human, not a robot. But you can get all the procedures to do this. They'll even give you the torque specs. For example, these two here are for the upper aft link to the subframe. They give you the torque spec. They tell you what socket you need, and they tell you if you have to replace or reuse the bolt.
Oh, wow.
Fortunately for us, you can reuse these. However, the kit came with new ones anyway. But if you're doing this by yourself and your kit didn't come with bolts, according to Tesla, it is safe to reuse them, and all that information is for free on the Tesla website.
The car needs to be aligned after this, though?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Because
so you can do it yourself, but you still need alignment.
you still need the alignment done.
Okay, cool.
But this will take a good chunk out of the labor cost.
Yeah.
And it's fun to do. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. You know, a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2.
Yeah, for some people.
Yeah.
Most Tesla people are not DIY people, but there's a few.
Right.
So
it's an easy repair. So you know, if it's a hobby
yeah,
or a way of life,
Yeah.
you know, it's
this shouldn't take too long in the driveway.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Here behind the bracket, and it's horseshoe shaped to match the contour, so you almost don't see it.
Oh, wow.
The red one you'll definitely see. The silver one's not so much.
So if you did this in your driveway, and you think if you called Tesla, they would even see that for the alignment? Because Tesla's really finicky about aftermarket stuff.
I don't think they would notice it.
Red ones they might.
Red ones they might, but the toe adjuster is all the way down here. So they're going to pull the panel off, and you know, camber is not adjustable from the factory.
So they probably
wouldn't even look up there.
Okay.
I can't see why they wouldn't. Even if they saw the shims, I can't see why they wouldn't.
So it's worth a shot if you don't have a place like this. But if you're around Charlotte, bring it here, and he'll definitely do it. And he'll probably do a better job than Tesla will do because, you know, like I said before, in spec is one thing, but perfectly in spec is another. Tire wear on the passenger side. You see it drapes off a little bit here as well, like on the other side. Little less tire here. Just gonna back it off of the rack to settle the suspension, because when you lift it up, even though it's air suspension, it's in jack mode, it still lifts it a little bit. So we gotta drop that gap right there and let it sit right. And then we put it back on the alignment rack and see how good we are. Plus, he's gonna do an alignment as well.
So that one, we're on the other side of the middle. That one still kind of brought us closer to the middle. There's a chance that when we adjust the toe that it might change the camber as well. Because camber and toe usually affect each other.
Okay.
That's why we're having to go back and do toe anyway, because of the camber change.
So in your opinion, was this bad off to begin with? I know it's all in spec, but...
It definitely needed to be adjusted.
Okay.
What we do with this side is really, I mean, you could mix and match the shims, leave the silvers on this side and maybe put the reds on that side.
Okay.
Because another thing you don't want excessive cross camber. That doesn't look too bad. But I feel like for the work that we're doing, we might want to bring that out just a little more.
Okay.
I might go back and put the red shims on that side.
Okay.
Because the whole point of doing this is to get these tires off the inside edge.
Yeah.
I would have thought we would have gotten a little more camber gain out of that. We got 4/10. It might turn into a half a degree once we adjust the toe.
So we're putting in the red shims, even though the manufacturer says the silver ones for the aftermarket wheels, but we noticed that this is really good, and the silver ones did do an improvement. But since we're here, and we have the red ones, we're going to see if the red ones get us any better, which they will, and how close we can get to being perfect.
Once we got that tightened down and the toe adjusted, look at my,
Yeah.
I'm dead even on both sides.
Yeah. That's with the red on this side, silver
Red
on the other
driver's
side.
Silver on the passenger.
Every car's different.
Every car is different, and the rack's level, so
Yeah.
it's not like the car is canted. I'd leave it.
Okay.
I'd leave it just like that.
If you're happy, I'm happy. So Bernard is going to go drive that down the street a little bit, make sure the steering angle is correct, make sure, because he went through the settings and my steering wheel was off just a little bit, or the yoke was off just a little bit. So he reset that. He's going to take it up and down the road to make sure the computer knows where the settings is. Plus, he actually aligned this thing amazing. So we were able to use the red shim on the driver's side and the silver shim on the other side. Now, you don't have to go out and buy both of these. You can actually just go buy the silver ones if you have aftermarket wheels, or the red ones if you have the stock wheels, stock 20s. I think that's what the manufacturer says. Now, if you just went silver, yes, you'd be really close and you'd be fine. But since they sent both of them out for this video, thank you, by the way, we were able to mix match them and get even better. So you might get dialed in perfectly. That was off of Bernard's recommendations. He said, since you have both of them, let's dial this in exactly, or as close as we can. And every car is different, so that's why they give specs. And you want to be within spec, not perfect. You can't get any car perfect typically, but you want to get as close as possible. So that's what we did. This is the auto house. There's the front door, and yes, they have a Tesla. Check out this wrap. So I actually met Bernard when I was down in Florida at Electrify Garage. He was getting trained down there from Chris from Electrify Garage, and Didn't know he was so close. So yes, he's got a Tesla. They know how to work on Teslas. They have Tesla employees here, or ex-Tesla employees. So bring your Tesla to the Auto House.